Yuval Noah Harari, Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Sapiens. History and Biology. The immense diversity of imagined realities that Sapiens invented and the resulting diversity of behavior pattern are the main component of what we call culture. Once cultures appear, they never cease to change and develop, and is unstoppable alternations at what we call history. The cognitive revolution is accordingly the point when history declares its independence from biology. Until the cognitive revolution, the doing of all human species belong to the realm of biology. If we prefer prehistory, I tend to avoid the term prehistory because it long implies that even before the cognitive revolution, humans were in a category of their own. From the cognitive revolution onward, historical narratives replace biological theory as our primary means of explaining the development of Homo sapiens. To understand the rise of Christianity or the French Revolution is not enough to comprehend the interaction of genes, hormones, and organisms. It is necessary to take into account the interaction of ideas, images, and fantasies as well. This does not mean the Homo sapiens and human culture became exempt from biological law. You are still animal, and our physical, emotional, and cognitive abilities are still shaped by our DNA. Our society are built from the same building block as the Neanderthal and chimpanzee society, and the more you examine these building blocks, sensational, emotion, family ties, the less difference we find between us and other apes. It's, however, a mistake to look for a difference at the level of the individual or the family. 1 when 1, even 10 when 10, we are embarrassingly similar to chimpanzee. Significant difference begin to appear only when we cross the threshold of 150 individuals, and when we reach 1,000 to 2,000 individuals, the differences are astounding. If we try to bunch together thousands of chimpanzees into Tiananmen Square, Wall Street, the Vatican, of the headquarters of the United Nations, the result would be pandemonium. By contrast, sapiens regularly gather by the thousands in such places. Together, they create orderly patterns such as trade networks, mass celebration, and political institutions that they could never have created in isolation. The real difference between us and chimpanzees is the mystical glue that binds together a large number of individuals, families, and groups. This glue has made us the master of creation. Of course, you also need other skills, such as ability to make and use tools. Yet, tool making is of little consequence unless it is coupled with the ability to cooperate with many others. How is it that we now have intercontinental missiles with nuclear warheads, whereas 30,000 years ago we had only sticks with flint spearheads? Psychologically, there had been no significant improvement in our tool-making capacity over the last 30,000 years. Albert Einstein was far less dexterous with his hands than was an ancient hunter-gatherer. However, our capacity to cooperate with a large number of strangers had improved dramatically. The ancient flint spearhead was manufactured in a minute by a single person who relied on the advice and help of a few intimate friends. The production of a modern nuclear warhead requires cooperation of millions of strangers all over the world, from the workers who mine the uranium ore in the depths of the earth to theoretical physicists who write long mathematical formulae to describe the interaction of subatomic particles. To summarize the relationship between biology and history after the cognitive revolution, biology set the basic fundament for the behavior and capacity of Homo sapiens. The whole of history takes place within the bounds of this biological arena. However, this arena is extraordinarily large, allowing sapiens to play an astounding variety of games. Thanks to their ability to invent fiction, sapiens create more and more complex games, which each generation develop and elaborate even further. Consequently, in order to understand how sapiens behave, we must describe the historical evolution of their action, referring only to our biological constraints would be like a radio sportscaster who attending the World Cup football championship offered his listener the detailed description of the playing field rather than an account of what the players are doing. What games did our Stone Age's ancestors play in the arena of history? As far as we know, the people who carved the Subtitle Lion Man some 30,000 years ago had the same physical, emotional, and intellectual ability we have. What did they do when they woke up in the morning? What did they eat for breakfast and lunch? What were their society like? Did they have monogamous relationship and nuclear families? Did they have ceremonial, moral code, sports contest, and religious ritual? Did they fight war? The next chapter takes a peek behind the curtain of the age, examining what life was like in the millennia, separating the cognitive revolution from the agricultural revolution. Chapter 3. A Day in the Life of Adam and Eve. To understand our nature history and psychology, we must get inside the heads of our hunter-gatherer ancestors. For nearly the entire history of our species, sapiens live as foragers. The past 200 years, during which ever-increasing number of sapiens have obtained their daily bread as urban laborer and office worker, and the preceding 10,000 years, during which most sapiens lived farmer and herder, the blink of eye compared to the tens of thousands of years during which our ancestors hunted and gathered. The flourishing field of evolutionary psychology argue that many of our present-day social and psychological characteristics were shaped during this long pre-agricultural era. Even today, scholars in this field claim our brain and mind adapted to a life of hunting and gathering. Our eating habit, our conflict, and our sexuality are all results of the way our hunter-gatherer mind interacts with our current post-industrial environment, which is mega cities, aeroplanes, telephones, and computers. This environment gives us more material resources and longer lives than those enjoyed by any previous generation, but it often makes us feel alienated, depressed, and pressured. To understand why evolutionary psychologists argue we need to delve into the hunter-gatherer world that shaped us, the world that we subconsciously still inhabit. Why, for example, do people merge on high-calorie food that is doing little good to their bodies? Today, affluent society are in the sorrow of the plague of obesity, which is rapidly spreading to developing countries. It's a puzzle why we binge on the sweetest and greasiest food, greasiest food we can find until we consider the eating habit of our forager forebears. In the savannas and forests they inhabited, high-calorie sweet are extremely rare and food in general was in short supply. A typical forager 30,000 years ago had access to only one type of sweet food, ripe fruit. If a Stone Age woman came across a tree growing with figs, the most sensible thing to do was to eat as many of them as she could on the spot, before the local Barbun band picked the tree bare. The instinct to gorge on high-calorie food was hardwired into our genes. Today we may be living in high-rise apartment with overstuffed refrigerator, but our DNA still thinks we are in the savannah. That's what makes us spoon down the entire table of Ben and jellies when we find out the freezer and wash it down with a jumbo Coke. This gorging gene theory is widely accepted. Other theories are far more contentious. For example, some evolutionary psychologists argue that ancient foraging bands are not composed of nuclear families centered on monogamous couples. Rather, forages live in the commune, devoid of private property, monogamous relationship, and even fatherhood. In such a band, a woman could have sex and form intimate bond with several men and women simultaneously, and all of the band adults cooperate in parenting its children, since no man knew definitely which of children were his. Men showed equal consent of all youngsters. Such a social structure is not an Aquarian utopia. It's well documented among animals, notably our close relatives, the chimpanzee and bonobos. There are even a number of present-day human culture in which collective fatherhood is practiced, as for example among the Bari Indians. According to the belief in such a society, a child is not born from the sperm of a single man, but from the accumulation of sperm in a woman's womb.